The Lions are making waves behind the scenes this offseason, and the rumors just keep growing. Huge pass rush names have been linked to the team, but the front office seems to have a different plan. Meanwhile, a young talent with a promising past has emerged as a potential piece to strengthen the defense. And if that wasn't enough, a veteran powerhouse just hit the market, and his name is already being speculated in Detroit. Could this be the Lions' big move? Stay tuned, because you won't want to miss a single detail. Oh, and don't forget to leave a like to support the channel. The Detroit Lions have been linked to several top-tier pass rushers this offseason, with names like Myles Garrett, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, and Trey Hendrickson appearing on the radar. But if you were expecting a massive investment in the position, you might want to rethink that. GM Brad Holmes has already made it clear that he doesn't plan to break the bank for a new edge rusher, especially with a massive extension for Aiden Hutchinson looming. This means the Lions might be looking for more budget-friendly options, and Mike Jones from The Athletic believes one of those targets could be Azeez Ojulari, formerly of the New York Giants. Ojulari was a second-round pick for the Giants and made an immediate impact as a rookie, recording 8 sacks, 27 pressures, and 49 tackles. The problem? Injuries. Since then, he struggled to stay on the field. In his second year, he played only 7 games but still managed 5.5 sacks and 13 pressures. In 2023, he appeared in 11 games and finished with 2.5 sacks. Last season, he played the same number of games but increased his production to 6 sacks, despite being on the field for just 58% of the defensive snaps. Ojulari's talent is undeniable, and he could be an intriguing piece for teams looking to bolster their pass rushing rotation without spending a fortune. Even though he lost playing time to Kayvon Thibodeau and Brian Burns, he still finished with the 3rd most sacks for the Giants. At just 24 years old, he fits perfectly into the young defense the Lions are building, with a free agent class packed with pass rushing options and Hutchinson already established as a star. Detroit doesn't necessarily need a blockbuster name, just someone who complements the group well. Of course, betting on a player with an injury history always carries risks, but if the Lions want an affordable solution before the draft, Ojulari could be a smart move. What do you think about this potential addition? Is he worth the risk, or should the Lions aim higher? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And hold on, one of the most respected pass rushers in the league is now available, and Detroit might be in the mix. Let's get into it. Joey Bosa is officially on the market, and speculation is already heating up about where the veteran pass rusher could land. The Los Angeles Chargers decided to cut him, which, let's be honest, wasn't a huge surprise. Between his age, injuries, and a hefty contract, releasing Bosa helps the Chargers free up cap space. Now, the big question, where will he go? The obvious first thought is San Francisco reuniting the Bosa brothers and turning the 49ers defensive line into a nightmare for quarterbacks. But any team needing extra pass rushing firepower will at least take a look at the situation. And one of the teams frequently mentioned in these conversations, the Detroit Lions. Detroit has Aiden Hutchinson, an absolute beast on the defensive line, but they need more pieces to truly strike fear into opposing QBs. Zadarius Smith joined last season but never played alongside Hutchinson due to injuries. And with Marcus Davenport testing free agency, the Lions have a gap to fill. It's no surprise that John Breach of CBS Sports included Detroit among Bosa's potential landing spots. He pointed out that aside from Hutchinson, no one on the Lions defense had more than 4 sacks last season. Hutchinson led the team with 7.5, and that's despite playing only 5 games. Clearly, Detroit needs reinforcements in the pass rush. Now, the question is, does this make sense for the Lions? Bosa is still talented, but his recent injuries and decline in production raise concerns. Last year, he played 14 games, which is decent considering his history, but he finished with just 5 sacks. For a guy who was once dominant, that's not exactly impressive. Plus, having Hutchinson alongside him wouldn't be much different from what he had in Los Angeles with Khalil Mack. If Bosa is willing to take a team-friendly deal, the Lions might consider the investment, but they're also not desperate enough to gamble on a player who might not be the same as before. With so many options on the market, Detroit needs to make a smart choice. The Lions need to bolster their pass rush, but the question is, should they bet on a promising young player with an injury history or bring in a veteran who was once dominant but may no longer be the same? It's not an easy decision, and the wrong move could be costly. Now, to stay updated on the latest Lions and NFL news, make sure to subscribe to the channel.